Today's guest is I'm excited for it. Oh man, I had it down. I should have written it down, but I was getting ready to do my listing later. He is a multi podcaster. Is that how you say that?
I guess we'll go with that. That
Yeah, I
works.
mean,
Yeah.
well, podcaster, a live strategic NFL football person, a glass seller, a cardsmith, well, a
Cardsmith.
marketplace owners of different marketplaces, an awesome seller, a good friend. So excited to have Tim over the years. Oh, brand new father.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
So
that's a
welcome.
new title I get to add under
Yeah.
my belt, man.
Yes. Yes. How is that going? How's
I'm, t-
fatherhood?
I'm
You're not
pretty.
gonna. You can't. You won't say miserable.
No, well, yeah. I mean, listen.
Sorry, that's not even the right. I don't have kids, so that's not the right way. No one would ever say that. I understand that,
No,
but
it's pretty miserable, but you love every minute
it's
of it.
worth the misery, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's probably.
you're
I'm
super
gonna say
tired.
something. Yeah, I'm gonna say something really stupid right now because I don't have a child or been around very many little kids, but I have had a puppy,
Yeah,
and I gotta imagine it's probably harder than that. I'm
it
assuming,
is, but very
but
similar.
man, my old dog when he was a puppy, I got Dodger because I didn't want a puppy anymore. I was like, I just want a dog. I don't want a puppy because I like fell asleep making pizza in the oven. I almost burned down I burned the pizza, and I felt because I never slept because I worked overnights and then I had a
Hmm.
puppy all day. So like it was so miserable. But it was great. But I'm like, I don't want to do that again. So I understand it's not the same thing, but that's my perception of having a kid is probably worse than having a puppy.
Yeah,
I mean,
but there are
in a
there
good
are
way though, a
there are a
very
lot
good
of
way.
similarities though. But it's been a blessing. I mean, like obviously, I'm super fortunate. My wife is a rock star. You know, Josie is one of a
Yeah.
kind. So I'm definitely super lucky with that. It's just like all the little things I get me excited. So like we gave him his first bath at home.
Awesome.
Yes, today.
Oh
So
wow.
like that was an experience. And I've been taking tons of pictures, and we've been working on the nursery. Josie got this really cool sign, and it's so the theme for the nursery is golf.
Oh sweet.
So she's got this huge wood sign that says Camden, which is his first name, and then Stewart, his last name, and then it's got like a golf club with a golf ball on it. And then like I had a bunch of like vintage golf like memorabilia and like signs and stuff like that. So we put those up, and then Josie ordered these like golf balls on a tee, like stickers, and we put them all over the wall. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
You do you, are you a big golf guy? Because I know
Oh yeah.
you do
Oh
a
yeah.
fantasy football show or not, you do authentic in the beard. You're the beard of the
Mm-hmm.
authentic in the beard, and you talk NFC East, right?
Yep.
NFC East,
And fantasy on
fantasy
Sundays.
football, and just anything to do with football, anything football.
Yeah.
But
So.
and then you do baseball. Like most of you sell cards, and
Mhm.
it seems like I mean you do everything. But every time I'm in a show of yours, you're doing baseball. I didn't know you. I didn't know you like golf. So you
Oh
watch
yeah, I'm a
golf or
big golf guy. So
you play golf?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I got Josie has started golfing too. So it's like the only thing that I can do with her where like I can kind of tell her what to do. So but she's an athlete. So like she rode, she did crew, she did softball, lacrosse. When we first started dating, we one of the things we like kind of where we met and like when we first like our I mean, how many years ago now, we played on the same flag football team together.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's an athlete. So like she picked it up really fast, but then she got pregnant. So we had a bit of a stoppage there between golf lessons. So
That's
there's a
awesome.
driving range not too far from our house, and it's really cool because it has like an app on there. Like you can download an app and like you sign in when you go to the driving range, and it like tracks your balls and like you can kind of like keep your statistics and stuff like that. So
No way.
yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool. So
pretty
yeah,
cool.
so I love playing golf. I've been playing for a long time. I've never taken a lesson in my entire life, but I got really serious into it when I first got sober. It was
Hmm.
like the best thing for me during sobriety. Like cuz like it's teaches you so much like discipline and willpower, and it's so much of a mental game because in your mind, you have to tell yourself not to do all these things while you're trying to tell yourself to do all these other things.
Yeah.
So like it's a very useful sport, and I got really, I mean, I don't want to say really good, but I changed my score drastically. You know, like for the longest time, you're like, I just want to break 100, right? And then you end up shooting like 114. But I got to the point where like I was shooting consistently between like 86 and like 95.
Oh wow.
So, but I haven't played, like I don't play as much as I used to. But when I get a chance to go out, I
Time.
absolutely love it.
How do you have time?
Yeah, I know. So
What?
like,
Dang, man. When I was a kid, my grandfather was a huge loved golf. Golfed a few times a week, so he wanted us to play golf. Like he was obsessed with us
oh,
playing
I
golf.
think I heard we talked about this before once.
Yeah, probably because I mean it's because my grandfather was the like absolute best. But and I lived in South Carolina, and we had there was a country club at the place, and they had a you had the pool, a tennis court, golf, and you could pick like two things to do in the neighborhood or whatever. And so during the summer, we always had to do stuff for the summer. So I was on the swim team, and then my grandfather paid for us to have golf lessons. So my older brother, my younger brother is still too young. I think he might have eventually done it, but my older brother and I were a little closer in age, and we were having to do golf lessons like once or twice a week, and then walk 9 holes every week. And it was like, oh my god, this is so miserable because my best friend at the time, his family was all tennis players. So then this is like the early '90s, and I love watching Wimbledon. Like I like watching Wimbledon. This is like Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi
Yeah,
time. I wanted to be Agassi. I wanted to be playing tennis, and I'm out here trying to hit golf ball. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do. But
yeah.
but my grandfather was such a huge golfer, and now I wish I would have just kept up with golf because everyone plays golf. I got older, and when I worked at the casino, the guys after work they would go play golf, and so I wanted to be like hanging out with the guys. So like I bought golf clubs and wanted to hang out with golf, but it just I sucked. I didn't want to do it anymore. It sucked. So I
It
gave
could
up.
be extremely frustrating, that's for certain.
Yeah. So I picked up pool, and I think pool is like the bar league golf. Like there's a lot of like you got to make sure you're not doing something. You got it's kind of I felt like it was almost the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like so I did that, which I don't know if that probably wouldn't work your sobriety because most pool play. I don't know how pool halls are out there.
Yeah, the
All the pool
bar.
here is at bars. So I would get off of work. I worked early in the morning then when I was playing pool, and I would take off work early and go play pool at the bar. So it'd be like the middle of the day. And my car was always at the bar, and I'd be there drinking pops and eating pizzas, playing pool. Everyone else in there getting wasted. But oh, that's awesome. I don't know how because I thought I've known you for such a long time now. I didn't know. I had no idea about golf.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Josie was an athlete. I knew. No, you're an athlete, so I'm assuming Camden's going to be an absolute dog at whatever he's going to
We
play.
hope so. He's a big boy. He is a
Is
big
he?
boy. So he came out 8 pounds, 15 ounces,
Oh,
20 inches long.
dang.
He's already like approaching 10 pounds now. So,
All
uh,
right.
yeah, he's a bruiser.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. So how's that? Have you? How old is he right now? I
He just today is his
it's
third
like the end of
3 weeks old today.
okay. So are you back to like regular work?
No, I mean,
Like
there's
I
that's
mean, like what your work's going to be like now, because this is crazy. Because you're guys. I mean, I'm assuming most people, because you're into glass cards, everything and everything. I mean, you do. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Reseller Information Network, all these YouTube channels and everything. So most people are going to know you. And like Tim is like the hardest working person. Like I know. I think I don't know
uh,
who else works harder than you.
I mean,
So
there's a
I
lot of
was
people that work harder than me, but I just I don't know. Like I, f- I think a lot of it too has. It's funny because I have a lot of it has to do with the sobriety, and then like I have like my own like mental struggles because I
yeah,
have bipolar and manic depressive and ADDHD. So like all that stuff. It's when you keep myself busy it doesn't allow me any time to like stop and think about all the things that I need to worry about, and then like
Yeah.
I have like a nervous breakdown, and then I have panic attack, and next thing you know, like I'm balled up in a corner somewhere.
Yeah,
So like
I know those feelings.
so that definitely helps, and allows me to do it, and it's just I don't know, like that's what I like. I like I don't ever want to feel like I have to do one thing, and so like it sucks sometimes because I'm like, damn, I'm really just doing too much, but like one of these days I'm gonna figure it all out. It's all gonna align
It's gonna work.
perfectly, I
Oh man.
promise.
No, we went when we hung out at 127 last year. That was so much fun, but I felt I went there to be on vacation. And I mean, you were out grinding every day, buying everything, filling up the dining room, and then drafting and listing all night. Like I mean, to the wee hours. It felt like and I was like, oh man, I feel like such a bum because I'm not doing any of this. I was like, I'm here on vacation. So
So for me with 127, because that was my third time going. So like I kind of just wanted to hit the ground running. And plus the other thing was is that was the first time where I went. I was on the road basically for almost a month because I went to National. So I was at the National Sports Card Convention. For those of you that don't know, it's the biggest card show in the world, and it runs from Wednesday to Sunday. So I was there for 5 days, and then Carrie, Dawn, and I went to Jimmy's house, and then we stayed at Jimmy's house for a couple of nights, and then from there we drove to Kentucky,
mhm.
and we were in Kentucky for like what 5 days or something like that. So like,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I had to drive back home. So for me, it was just like, okay, like I need to have kind of when I get back home, I need to be able to hit the ground running. So that's why I was doing all the drafting and stuff like that. And then, I mean,
you're preparing. You don't procrastinate.
yeah, and it was just I spent a lot of money, so it
Yeah.
was
Oh,
like I had to recoup some
yeah. Man,
funds.
being gone that long, that would be crazy. Yeah, I understand that because that was I was only I missed a day because that was my first time ever going to something like that, and so I didn't understand like it started a day early, so I wasn't leaving. I didn't leave on time, so I missed the whole day. And I mean, I spent a ton of money just hanging out having vacation.
Yeah, no, but it is like because sometimes when we're alone, right?
Mm,
Because there's a lot of resellers work by themselves, so it's
right.
like you spend so much of your time by yourself that like people always ask like, well, why would you want to go picking with all these other resellers, right? And I mean, obviously, like there's, we have a friendship between them. There's a lot of us that are like close, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
like we're super fortunate because like we're all different people, but like, and yeah, we all resell, but we all seem to like kind of like really get along well in this smaller groups, but this larger group where kind of everybody knows each other.
yeah.
And so like when you kind of get together with all of us, like you don't get those opportunities very often. So it is kind of like a vacation at the same time because like you're working, but you're not working by yourself. Like you're not at the yard sale by yourself. Like it creates this extra level of energy when
Yeah.
you're around like your friends who are also resellers. Like
Right.
you really like you push each other and you learn from each other and you have fun. Like it's different because like it's so easy to be like, I'm not gonna get up at 6 in the morning to go to the flea market today, right? But when you're in a house with like 12 other people and everybody's like racing to see who could get out the door
Oh, that was
first.
the first day I skipped. I didn't even want to go because I was like, I was intimidated by so many people running around brushing their teeth, getting ready to go. So I was like, I'll just stand back and watch this. So like the next morning, I woke up like an hour and a half early before everyone else to make sure I was ready to get out there to try it out. Yeah, I understand what you because that was the funnest thing. I was gonna what so I used it to just watch people. My favorite part of the day was the night was having like dinner around sitting
Yeah.
around and just having dinner with everyone and then people just talking about reselling because yeah, like you said, I mean most of the time when I sit and talk to my family and stuff or most people, they could care less. Like my mom still doesn't understand why I'm like she's like this is what are you doing? You're cleaning shoes today? What do you that's like today I was like cleaning shoes. It felt so nice and I've talked about it on when I was on Leftover podcast. I drive around with my cars just full of shoes, and like I went to the bins yesterday, had 2 IKEA bags full of shoes there in my trunk, just driving around, just loaded up with shoes. I'm like, what are you doing? And like, this is crazy. But that was the funnest part, was just sitting around talking about that stuff, and then watching to see what people do. Your work ethic, even though like, so I don't know if you so. I'm gonna pretend that that's how you work all the time. I know you work hard, but maybe you don't work as hard as I was watching you. But that's how I'm like, dang, Tim works like this all the time. Okay, that's what I got to be doing. So, because that's last week we were talking. I don't know if I had Ray on. Ray was kind of giving it to me in a good big brother way. Or I'm probably older than Ray, but he was talking to me like a big brother about like just kind of like getting my gear into shape, because he's having a meetup, and he was like, "Are you?" I don't remember if actually I don't remember how the whole episode went, if he was actually asking me if I was going, but we were talking about, because I was worried about my finances and I didn't want to spend the money. And that was one of the reasons I didn't want to go to 127 last year.
Yeah,
But
no,
finally, I
I
like pulled the
understand
trigger and did
completely.
it. And but my finances, so I'm like, I got to work as hard as this. But just watching you guys, like how you do, and I was watching you, and you were like drafting all of your items. I don't remember if you remember this. You drafted all your items, and you were talking to me about you're gonna go home and you're gonna take pictures, and you got the stuff already listed. Everything's done. You just gotta get the prices in, put the pictures in. And I have done that since. Like that's mostly how I do a lot of my stuff. Like this morning, I was up super early. I did 10 card listings for my card shop on eBay, my shop on there, and I just drafted the cards I was gonna do. I've been using the bulk at Lister,
I was
but
gonna ask you, have you been using that?
yes, for like some of the, I have for a lot of stuff, but this morning, well, because those you do it the other way. You got to take the pictures and load the
Yeah.
pictures. But these, I was comping the cards. I wanted to know what they're gonna actually list them for. So then I just built the listings. And then when I got up, I had taken my dog outside. We came back inside. I hurried up and snapped the pictures, and then I listed them all and got done with that for the day. So I got done. I was done with that. I don't have to worry about that the rest of the day. Because then I had some stuff to do around the house, and then I was cleaning shoes, and then I'm gonna list shoes tonight, and then we were doing this. So I was like making sure, because yesterday I ran around. There wasn't I didn't go to a meetup, but I met up with um Brian and Tracy from Jack's Treasures.
Mm-hmm.
They're traveling to another meetup, Plains of Profit out in Nebraska.
Yep.
That's going on, and they traveled through where I'm at, and I met up with them and a few other people from Whatnot that I know up at the bins. So I hung out with them for a little while in the afternoon, and all day they were trying to get me to go over to have lunch and stuff, and I refused to go to lunch because I'm like, I'll meet you at the bins because I need to make money today. I gotta find stuff. I'll be happy to meet people, but I'm gonna be at the bins looking for stuff so I can make money. And so I did that. I didn't get any listing done, which I was mad at myself for that. But I found 2 bags of shoes, so I was excited.
So
So
I think one of the biggest things, it's interesting because that moment kind of triggered something in me where now I do my best to get things listed as soon as I get back home. Like obviously there's going to be times where you can't because life, A, and B, like, especially during the summertime when you do all the yard sales and stuff like that, like,
fingers crossed I'm gonna go this year.
yeah, well, like, or even if a long day, like, say you go to the bins and you're at the bins for 6 hours, right? Like that's work. Like you get tired after a little while, right? So it's like, but even if you do, I feel like even if you do like take one step in the direction where like you're eliminating the step of work that you're gonna have to do eventually, and getting that done quicker, it makes life a lot easier because there's nothing worse than like the next day, right? You're like where you have lost all that excitement from all your finds, and then you go and it's just like a IKEA bags full of crap, and you're like, oh, I gotta clean this and photograph this and this and that, right? Like the level of excitement isn't the same as when you first find
Found
something,
it.
right?
Yes.
So I think that helps. Like yesterday, I just went to 7-Eleven for a second, and there's a thrift store by 7-Eleven, and I see you smiling because I'm a big 7-Eleven guy. So I haven't been sourcing a lot, obviously, because of the baby coming and everything like that, and we built a shed, and then that's done. So like I just kind of like haven't been sourcing, and it's difficult because if you don't buy anything, you can't list anything. I don't make any money. So like the cards have kind of been a nice little income while I kind of been doing some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
not the same amount of money as the other stuff, but it's good. So, and it's quicker money. That's the other thing. But I stopped in a thrift store and like thrift stores around here suck recently. I'd say the last like year or so. It's just so tough. And so I and my idea of sourcing is completely different now too. Like I'm very, very, very picky when it comes to buying. And so anyway, it's like I went through all the aisles, I didn't find anything, went to the golf clubs, the glass, and then I was like going through like the jerseys, right? I don't know if you saw this on Instagram or not. And there was like a soccer jersey. And I've done really well with soccer jerseys. And where
Yeah,
I live is I live in a melting pot area, right? So there's always crazy soccer
Washington
jerseys.
D.C. Just
Yeah.
in case people listening on Spotify or any other audio platform.
Yes.
Washington
I live in
D.C.
Washington D.C. So I found this jersey and I was like, you know how when you find something and you're like, you don't even know, right? But in your gut, like you just either the way it looks, it feels like there's something about it that you're like, this thing's
I
different.
lit up when you said soccer jerseys because soccer jerseys are good.
Yeah.
Usually pretty good.
So this was a vintage 1994 soccer jersey, made by a company called Palmer, Polmer. They
Okay.
were like one of the biggest producers of like South American and Central American soccer club uniforms.
Okay.
And so this was from a team in the highest level of the Peruvian soccer league.
Okay.
And there's nothing. No solds, no listings, not on WorthPoint, not on eBay, nothing. And it took
Really?
me a minute to kind of even like figure out exactly what it was. So there's a dope website. And just for those of you listening and watching, if I suggest you, this is one of those things that I keep in my back pocket that comes in handy. It's called I can't remember what it's called now. It's called the Football Kit Archives.
Oh, okay.
And it's a website that has like every soccer uniform from every year from every team in the world.
Okay.
Like literally. So it's
Wow.
like if you want to be able to identify a soccer jersey and you can't, like, that's it. So like I found that it was from this team, the exact year, the home jersey, everything. And the other similar jerseys from that time era and that team are, $100+ jerseys.
Dang.
And so I put mine up, I think, for like $125. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that might be kind of a long tail item. It might sell fast. With stuff like that, you never know because I'm the only listing for that jersey on eBay. So it's like, and like that's a category that kind of has like a very niche, following. So like, but for me, like I walked in a thrift store, I left with the thrift store with that one item. That was it.
That's
I
awesome.
bought one thing. I spent $4. I came home. I put it on my board. I took the pictures, took the measurements, edited the pictures, went straight online, listed it on eBay and did the threads, and it was done. Right. So like stuff like that, like it's just more important to me. Like the last weekend, I went to a yard sale before I went to a card show. I found 3 dope NASCAR t-shirts. Right. One all over print, Dale Earnhardt and Taz one, and then another Dale Earnhardt one. As soon as I came home, took pictures, measurements, listed, boom, done. So like it's easier when it's only like a handful of items. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot more difficult if I come home with like 20, 30 items. But like say I do that, it's 20, 30 items. At least I want to make sure that everything is prepped. So like if I need to take tags off, if something needs to be cleaned, stuff like that, right? All of that is prepped. So then all I got to do is take pictures or at least, sometimes like I'll draft it with the pricing and everything and then worry about the cleaning of the pictures. But as long as I'm doing something before like the next day, it just makes the process of listing a lot easier because people always like, it's always like people who are like, oh, I got 100 listings done in a day, right? Like 100 listings. How though? Like, did you You talking about from scratch, or you talking about like you had 100 drafts and you did 100 listings? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
it's for me, it's a process. No matter what it is, it's always gonna be a process. And I think I'm constantly changing and learning and trying new ways to make things work because I always want to be able to work smarter, not harder. You know, like that's especially with
That,
what we do. It's important, or else we get burnt out. You know.
yes. Yeah. And I'm guilty of that because I always say I'm gonna go out and be smarter pick every time. I'm like, I'm gonna be pickier, I'm gonna be pickier. And then I get nervous. I'm like, I don't have anything to list this week. I'm gonna buy everything I can find, get my hands on, and it's gonna be. And then I come home and I'm like, why did I buy this? I don't want to list it. So now I try to like think. I was at the bins yesterday. I used to buy every shoe I could find at the
Mm-hmm.
bins because I was like, and then I'd sit out there and I'd clean them, try to clean them. I mean, they would be mud. I'd be peeling mud off, and then now I'm like, all right, like realistically, what am I gonna get for this? I mean, are these like a $20 pair of shoes and they're just caked in mud and there's crayons on it? Am I gonna like clean this and it's gonna take me forever? And then I'm like, all right, I need to not get this, and then try to, I'm like, am I really gonna list it and then throw it back if I'm not going? Because I'm gonna get shoes. I'm gonna find shoes, and then I just don't want a pile of stuff that I'm not gonna ever gonna mess with.
Yeah.
So I did 9 pairs of shoes today. I cleaned. I just went through my bags outside, and I had some that were probably do need some cleaning, but they're like a I don't know, golf Adidas ones. I didn't comp them either, but I paid $1.89 a pound. There's a pair of golf Adidas size, I think 12, golf shoes with like the boa, whatever that thing is. And I know those used to be good, but they're like, I'm like, I think I can probably get some good money for them. But they got some dirt and they need like a little bit better cleaning than just like a quick wipe down. These are kind of like leather. I had some leather shoes that just need a quick wipe and a little spritz of some air freshener. So I'm
Dude,
like, I'll mess with those later. But you look like you're gonna say something.
I wanted to tell you something. Just so what do you clean your shoes with?
It Today I used
Like your
just
tool, not like necessarily the
I was gonna
product.
say I used Awesome
Okay.
with a rag and then a eraser, or I'll use the Dawn, like Dawn, and I'll use like a
Power.
bristle.
Yeah.
I do the power wash and regular Dawn, and I'll use a like a brush. But it's still cold outside too here, so I like to get a bucket, put on. Well, now I'll listen to No Bangers podcast that you're on. I'll put that on, but I'll listen to something and just get out there and have a bee flying around in my porch. There's always a bee around. I can't wait for summer. It's like I just can't wait to get out there and clean my shoes.
So because like I do a lot of hats, right?
Yeah.
And hats kind of the market for hats has gone and changed a lot recently too, right? Before, like you could buy anything and you're like we were flipping crazy, right? Now it's a little bit more. You have to be a lot more selective with what you're buying hat wise. And then before it was like you would buy a hat and you're like, oh, this is a beater, and then you clean it up, you soak it, and you clean it and make it shape it and all that stuff, right? But then like over time, you accumulate like 125 of those hats, and you're like, shit, I haven't
I do
cleaned
that, man.
any of these hats. And so like I had a bucket full of some heaters that needed to be cleaned. And I was like, man, I gotta clean these hats. Like, I gotta stop procrastinating. So
Is that when you
I,
invented hat camp?
I saw this, yeah, hat camp, right? I saw this guy on Instagram, and he has this like electronic like scrubber, and he
Wow.
was using it to clean hats with. And I was like, oh my God, that would make my life so much easier. So I found out what it was, and it's like a face scrubber that you buy on Amazon.
Oh, I was thinking of like a drill, but like you do with the tiles.
It's
Like
kind of
you
like
get.
that. But it's a battery powered like face scrubber. It comes with like 3 different like heads that you can put on it. It's meant to like clean out your pores of your face. And it was like $20 on Amazon. So I ordered it and it was amazing.
Really?
So I soaked all the hats and then like I took them out and then I used that to like do the deep bruh. It saves you so much time, so much energy. That's why I asked, because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this would be perfect for shoes,
Yeah,
because you don't have to like
yeah.
all this motion. Like, think about how much time and energy that takes. This, you just turn that on button and
Oh man, yeah.
like that. It's amazing, and it worked fantastic on the hats. And I'm
What's it
like,
called?
it's called the.
I think I might have to invest in that.
But listen, like for me, like that, I think that would be something that would make 1000% make sense for you, because, like, we just talked about working smarter, not harder, right?
Yes.
So it's like that is something that would be perfect for you for the shoes. Okay, it is called the. I'm gonna send
Everybody
it to
get their
you.
pencils out. You can write
It's
this
called.
down.
It's by on Amazon. It's called Touch Beauty.
Touch Beauty.
Yep. And it is a facial cleansing brush, electric facial exfoliating massage brush with 3 cleanser heads and 2 speeds, adjustable for deep cleaning, removing blackheads,
Yeah, I
and
think I'm gonna
face
have to.
massaging.
Especially at only $20. $20 sounds like it's worth it.
$19.54. It's on sale right now. Did you find it? Or do you want me
No,
to send it to
I
you?
wrote it down. I'm old school. I wrote it down. I'll look
Okay.
later.
If you can't find it, let me know. I'll send it to you. I'll just send it to you right now.
I think yeah. Because if you'd said like $40, I probably wouldn't get it. But
Yeah,
like 20
neither would
bucks,
I.
20 yeah.
Listen,
20
Dan,
bucks
we're the
is like
same
easy.
guy when it comes to finances and being cheap. Trust me.
No, we're not the same, because you have to take care of a wife and a baby.
Well, yeah. Well,
I just
luckily,
have to,
my wife is very intelligent and also has a job too. So
oh, okay. Well, anyway, either way, I have what you're. I'm sure but your expenses are probably way more than mine too. But I'll
yeah,
take it. I have to take care of Dodger, my
yeah.
dog, and I just bought him. I just bought him some treats this weekend. This week. He gets a bone, and I bought him these bones. He gets smart bones from I buy them from Amazon. And it's like a 99.9%, I think, or 99% uh, raw. It's like a rawhide, but it's 99% like whatever free. It's supposed to be better for me. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
actual like bone. And these are like animal. They look like animal crackers, but it would be like an elephant. There's an elephant, a lion. So I'm
Just
so
don't give him
excited to
any
give.
dog-shaped ones. We don't
There
want
was
any
there. I don't think there's a dog.
cannibalism.
I think it was just like what it's
Are there
like
dinosaurs?
no dinosaurs.
Good.
We don't believe in dinosaurs, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was just looking out for some propaganda.
But you do believe in kimono dragons, right? Or
Dragons,
dragons.
yes. Dragons are
Dragons are
real.
real.
Aliens are
Dinosaurs are
real.
fake.
Ghosts
What
are
are real?
real. Aliens, ghosts, dragons, Santa
Alien.
Claus.
Santa Claus is real. I
All
do
real.
believe in Santa Claus. I do believe in Santa Claus.
Dinosaurs, fake.
I don't. I mean, what do
I'm
you think
having
was
a
happening?
I'm having a USPS issue, Dan.
USPS. US. Why? What
Post
happened?
office issue.
What happened?
So I have an order that I ordered. It's supposed to be delivered to my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, I haven't gotten this package. And I go and I look at the tracking. It says delivered like on the 18th. I'm like, what the hell? But it says delivered to a parcel locker. I'm like,
No.
what is a parcel locker? So then I go to the post office and they're like, oh, the supervisor who knows where this is not here. So I'm like, all right, well, I leave the tracking number, my name, my number. They said she was going to call me. She doesn't call me. Then they're like, she's not going to be here till 12. I went home, and that same day, I was so tired from the baby and packing orders. I realized I dropped a box off in the post office with all my other packages that didn't have a label on it. So I had to drive all the way back to Maryland to go to the other post office where I dropped my packages off, dig through the boxes, find the box, put the label on it. Okay, that cleared that up. So now I'm like, okay, well, now it's 12:30. I can stop by this other post office and see what's up. They're like, oh, she's not here. She's called in and said she's running late. I'm like, what's going on? So then I called back yesterday, and they're like, oh, the supervisor's out on the streets right now. And I'm like, okay, well,
She's on the streets.
where's my package? And they're like, oh, nobody here knows except for her. So then I leave my phone number again. Nobody, she's going to call you at 3:00. Nobody called me. So I called back again this morning, and they're like, oh, well, she's not here right now. She'll be in at 1:00. But, we can't find a package. We don't know where it is. I'm like, well, what is going on here? And so they're like, usually if they put it that it was delivered in a parcel locker, means that they didn't have enough time to deliver deliver your item, even though it was out for delivery. So they mark it as delivered to a parcel locker, and they'll deliver it the next day. But obviously, they never delivered it the next day because that was the 18th.
Ew, they did that. But mine doesn't say parcel locker. They'll say delivered, and it happens on eBay too. They'll say delivered, and then you instantly get a message from someone, and you're like, I never got this, and then the next day it's there.
Okay. Funny thing, I got a message from a guy who bought a listing from me on Whatnot, a static listing on Whatnot. And he's like, hey, I ordered this card, but it says it was delivered, but I never got it. And I'm like, here we go. And so then I look at it, and his says the same thing in Chicago. It says it was delivered, but it was delivered to a parcel locker. I'm like, what is going on here with USPS? So I got to call this lady back again today. I was like, man, maybe I should do it live while we're recording and see what they say. But
What? What do you think? What do you want to say what's in? Do you know what's in the package? Do you want to say what?
cards,
Like I was gonna say, is it cards?
cards.
Because I'm convinced that I had this. I've had a few instances where my cards didn't show up, but then I was fighting around. I had 3 packages end up in Indianapolis, and they just stopped, and nothing happened for weeks. And then I reached out to the people on eBay. I'm like, I understand that you ship these, but like nothing's happening. Like, can you try missing mail so then it can get found? And they just kept on giving me like, oh, it's coming, it's fine, it's no worries. I'm like, what do you mean no worries? It was. I don't remember if you remember. I did a show a few weeks ago on a Saturday
Oh
afternoon.
yeah, and you were like,
And
we're supposed to get this order of cards.
I was that day I was supposed to get them. They're out for delivery, and then all of a sudden they're back in Indianapolis, and that was like what? That was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I
You
think.
still haven't got those?
I got them last week. Like they it took forever to come, and the place I'm like because it like I either want like my money or like I mean I understand that you ship them. I don't doubt that, but like nothing's happening. I can't just be out of the money now. And
Yeah.
like they wouldn't respond to me, and I at first, and I didn't know what to do. And then I did feel like I didn't. Now I've gotten them, and I'm fine. But it was like I just the whole thing was like I don't want to be a jerk. I understand because someone did that to me, but
Yeah.
like I would be getting back to the person. And this, I'm like, what? But it was 3 more packages. They all just get to Indianapolis and they just stop. Nothing happens. So I was convinced someone there was taking my cards, but it's worked out for me. But oh my god,
Yeah. So
dang!
now I'm having quite a predicament right now because I wish I would have known it would noticed it right away because now we're like 9 days since they were supposed to. It said delivered at a parcel locker, and the thing is like the post office that delivers the mail to my because I get all my mail sent to my mom's house because I don't trust where I live, because we live in a pretty rough area. So like that post office is the worst post office in the world. The post office that delivers the mail to my mom. Like I remember when I was first started reselling, I would take my packages there. It was hell. And then I found another post office that was close by, and I went there to get a passport right before COVID, I think it was. Josie and I were supposed to go to Ghana, and I fell in love with the people. The ladies there were so nice, and I was like, I'm just gonna bring my mail here. So now I've been taking my mail to that post office ever since, and it's fantastic. Like
Really?
I
That's
drive
good.
like 25 minutes to get there, but it's 1,000% worth it. Yeah, yeah,
25 minutes. Oh
yeah.
my gosh! How many days a week do you do your shipping?
It depends. I use listen. I do everything that people say you shouldn't do on eBay. I do. So,
Well, what's your handling time?
what do you think my handling time is?
Probably 3 days.
3 days. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you take the 3 days? Like, well, I mean,
No,
so
if somebody orders, so like, say I go to the post office on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right?
mhm,
If somebody orders something on Thursday, then I will ship it on Friday.
got it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
like, it's not like I
It's
do
just
it.
if they so if you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like it just if they that's fine too. But do you
Yeah.
get people that just like ask you like why if they bought it on Monday and you've already shipped, so now you're not going to ship it till Wednesday? Do they ask you on Tuesday why you haven't shipped it? Do you get a lot of those messages?
Never.
I get that all the time.
Only if I'm only like the only time I get messages like that is in like if I have on like not on vacation, but I have extended handling time because I'm away. I get that sometimes, and then
25 minutes.
I also get it with like random holidays. Like
Yeah.
if a holiday will like somebody will order something on Friday and like there'll be a Monday holiday and like I won't ship it until Wednesday, even though like I don't have to ship it until Thursday. They're like, I was just wondering when you were gonna ship this out, and I'm like, well, bro, the post office is closed on Sundays. It's a holiday on Monday, like. But obviously, I'm like really, I'm very customer service like friendly. Like I never like respond to questions or stuff like that. Like how I want to. I always like take like the high road and trying to ease things over and
It's
whatnot.
usually
But
pretty nice on eBay. On some of the other ones, I don't not mean, but I'll like. I had because I hate on Macari. Do you sell on Macari?
yeah, I saw him a
I
card.
took all my listings down like a few weeks ago. But like a lot of my 3 stars on there are shipping time, and those are from those situations where 4th of July is on Saturday, so Monday's a holiday. They bought it on Saturday, and I'm like, I can't ship it till Tuesday, man. Like, what do you want me to do? But I'm like, so I was just curious because people, I have 2-day handling, and I ship every day, and I do 2 days just in case there's like bad weather and I can't get to the post office. Or once in a while I just don't feel like shipping. I'm like, I'll just ship. Like I just did a card show yesterday and I didn't do my shipping today. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it tomorrow. Like I feel
But
really
also
bad.
too, that's kind of like throwing a good wrench into things is like the progressive shipping with district. Like it's like most of the time, like I don't do a ton of shows right now just because of the way my schedule is, obviously. But like, I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, you
I love that card.
think about how much more you would sell, people would sell who aren't like Paul Philly Flipper, who's like a big time whatnot seller now. Shout out Paul. Like think about how much more they would sell on whatnot if they had progressive shipping.
I,
Because shipping on whatnot is absolutely outrageous, and it just went up.
Yes, yes. That's one of the main reasons. Like I literally was, I like I tried to keep doing a show on there. I did a show last
Yeah, I
week,
saw
and
you do a card show. Maybe that was like 3 weeks ago. I think
yes,
it was
and that was
after the show where you were waiting for the cards. I saw you do a
yeah, because
card show.
my plan, well, it was the next day because I was
Yeah.
really wanting to do a show, and that went miserable. That went miserably, and I had planned on a few episodes back. I had Flip the World Chris on, and I had mentioned that I wasn't going to do cards on there anymore. I was just going to do because I'm just all over the place on whatnot, and so I'm only going to do my cards on Dibdit, like because that's I went over to Dibdit. I started with cards. I just want to stick with that, and then do threads.
Yeah.
Eventually, like I was supposed to do. I didn't do my show today. I mentioned earlier I was going to do a show on threads. I was supposed to do my first thread show today. I ran out of time to get ready for it. I'm like I'm just going to push it back because it's just been it was tough trying to keep up with trying to do, and I did cards last night. Anyway, but the shipping is like the shipping on whatnot is basically like Macari shipping. It is like just crazy. I did a show where I actually sold some cards to people, and most of the people that buy from me on whatnot have been people I just are friends. They just know them. They're buying it, and I'm pretty sure they don't want cards. They're just buying it to support me. And I had like a max shipping of the nine. I've talked about this on here of the max shipping. At the time, I thought it was $877, and I got charged for $921 for everyone shipping of their cards, and no one had a package over 8 ounces because I had made every card. I put it in the 1 to 3 ounce range, and they were buying cards, and they put the shipping at 3 ounces, and we're charging everyone 3 ounces. So everyone paid max shipping, and then I paid on top because I maxed them out at $877, and I
Well,
paid.
why didn't you adjust the shipping?
I adjusted the shipping, and it doesn't give a discount on this is on whatnot. It doesn't give
Yeah.
it doesn't it charges them it just charged me. It did not charge
So
me.
even if you change the weight, like say like the weight on the label that they provided you was, or the weight that it said on the shipment, let's say it
It was like
said
60 some ounces.
60 ounces, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
let's say it was what,
like 8 ounce. Everything was under 8 ounces, like 6 ounces.
let's say, okay, so let's say it was 8 ounces. You couldn't go into the label, edit label, put it 8 ounces, and then that's
It
what they
didn't
would
change.
charge.
It didn't give me money back. It's so I did. I stuffed. I just made boxes and just stuffed them full of cards to make the 60 ounces. Like, this is
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
It was
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Maybe I did something. I don't know, but maybe I did something wrong. But I'm like, this is nuts to me. And then
Yeah.
so the next time I did that 0 to 1 ounces.
Hmm.
And did I pay? I don't honestly. I don't remember what happened. All I know is last week I did a garage sale show and I did 2 giveaways and I just made them 0 to 1 ounces and I gave away like it was like a walkie-talkie that hooks up to your phone, and I made it like 1 ounce and sold had it giveaway it as a football, and then I just adjusted it later, so I only paid 73 cents for the shipping and
Yeah.
made them eat the rest of it, and I used
Yeah.
one of my adjustments on them,
Yeah. I
so
mean,
I don't
like,
care. What
so
not?
like
Fuck it.
that's what the like, it's stuff like that that's kind of like when I first, because I've been doing district for a long time, and now look at what district is, right? Like, I'm not one of these people,
What's
because
next?
listen, there's a
Tell me
lot of
what's
people,
next so I can be ahead of everyone.
there's a lot
Tell
of
me.
people in the reselling world who I think are absolutely sick and tired of me, and I would be sick and tired of me
Oh,
too
just sick of
sometimes, right?
Tim.
No, trust me. There's a lot of people that I don't know what I did to make everybody angry, but there's a lot of people who don't like me. I don't know why. What I did,
Who
like,
doesn't like you?
I don't know, man.
Give
They're
me
out there.
names. No, you don't have to tell me names. But
There's a lot of people out there that just do not like me because I'm like, I go
you're out
against
there
the
crushing it.
grain. I go against the grain a little bit, and but like, remember when I was talking about Whatnot before Whatnot came out? Everybody was like, "Oh, it's just a fad, and nobody's gonna do that, and you don't know what you're talking about." And then it's like every person who's ever been a reseller was applying to sell on Whatnot, and like, shout out to Paul. Paul's getting a lot of plugs today. Paul's the only one out there who will consistently, no matter, anytime somebody asks them, how'd you get started on Whatnot, he will say
See?
Tim. You know what I'm saying? And I love Paul. Paul's always been a huge supporter to me. He's always been a nice guy to me. And like, every time we've ever hung out, it's just like, he came and stopped by my house here in the trenches of DC.
I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
So like, and then when I started doing the district with One Stop Shop, at that time, there was nobody else in the reselling industry had a marketplace. Not Crazy Lamp Lady, not the Trash to Cash guys. Nobody. We were the first, and I kept telling everybody, I was like, "Oh, y'all thought Whatnot was good. Wait for this." And now it's like, everybody is fighting over marketplaces and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Marketplaces.
Yeah, but like the cool thing about district is that like you can have all these different marketplaces and you can buy and sell in all these different marketplaces. It's because they're so niche down that it's like it makes sense, And like,
Yeah.
I love selling on. I haven't done it in so long because of the pregnancy and everything, but like, I love selling glass on knickknacks. Like that it's so much fun, And like, obviously, I'm a huge supporter of Dib Dip because like those are my guys, And then now we've got Dib Dip cards, and I thought that was a brilliant idea by them to branch out to the separate marketplaces. I think it was super smart, and I'm going to be doing the raid train on Dib Dip threads, and I'm going to be doing the raid train on Dib Dip cards, And then we still have
the Divot Thread. Sorry to cut you off. Divot Threads. The raid train is the third, right? The third.
yeah, third.
And then this is going to be out Monday, and that's Tuesday, and then right.
Yeah.
I think,
And
and then Wednesday
is cards,
is the cards.
and you're doing both, right?
No. So that was to do the threads one. You had to do a show before. You had to do a show, and then I didn't sign up for the raid train yet because I was going to do a show, and I was like trying to get ready for my show, and then the raid train was all filled up now, and I was doing my show today, and I was like, well, the raid train's filled up. Let me, and then I wasn't ready, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm ready. I just wanted to make sure I did a good job before I like do that. So I'm like, I'll wait on that. I'm doing the card one on Wednesday.
But that's good because you and Keith kind of have like established yourselves for that time slot every week.
Yes,
I think it's super smart.
I enjoy it because you sit in on my Dib Dip card shows a lot. Like
Mhm.
When you do a show, you're like, guys, I got whatever cards you need except for Pat McAfee. Um, do
one of these days, I'm gonna
you
find
ever
it.
do you have
I'm not even
confidence?
gonna run it. I'm just gonna tell you to give me your
Oh, just
address and
please
I'll send
buy
it
it
to you.
now and let me buy, because it's not really worth what it's priced in the in the market. It's just like a base card. They're like 16, 18, $20.
Uh,
It's crazy. So like I want to get it from someone like, oh, I guess I'll feel bad if I buy it from anyone else but you now.
no,
I
I
keep
wouldn't be.
asking you,
I'd be happy for you. I'd be like,
but I like
finally, Dan got his bad
I
McAfee.
don't need it, but I want it. So I'm like, I gotta buy it from someone that I like want to support someone like I know, because it's just not. It's like if it's Pat McAfee's not Pat McAfee. I mean, it's really there's even who he is. It can't be like a $20 card. Here's some expensive cards, but I just want a regular punting Donner. It's like Donners, I think. It's just like not worth anything. Like, but these guys have it priced ridiculous, which is
Yeah.
smart because I guess I would price it probably high too, I guess. But what was I say? Oh, you're like, guys, I have thousands of cards, whatever card you need. And like cards are new to me. And then on top of being new to me, like I didn't know I knew a little bit about cards, but I didn't know enough about cards. And then just by starting to sell them and then watching, I was watching your over the years sports and Carrie and then Rod, all you guys from No Bangers. I've been watching your channels on stuff, and I see what you guys have bought, but like in the dollar box, I didn't go to a card show or not card show. I went to a card show a few weeks ago, but I hadn't been to a card shop in years. I went at the end of the fall, but that was all new to me, so I didn't know what I
Mhm.
was doing. So my like inventory is very small, so it was great that Keith, him and I do a co-hosting show, and I don't have enough inventory. I guess what I was trying to say. My inventory is so small, like I don't have enough. I would burn out. I burned out on whatnot. I had a influx of cards. There were a lot of good cards, but my first few shows, I started getting up and I was doing shows at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and they went well for I did it for a while, a few times a week, and they went really good. But I sold all my good cards, and then I was left with stuff people didn't want, and then I stopped selling cards because I didn't have anything anyone wanted. So
That's
this
the
has been nice.
that's the tough cycle with selling cards because like I'm not one of these people that I don't like to spend a lot of capital all at once in one thing, right? Like I can't. It's tough for me to do that. And a lot of times people buy collections, and that's how they're able to kind of do this constant thing. But like I grind. I go to card shows every single weekend. And that's how and then like I'll do some online shopping too. And then
How
I got
far
a
do you
card
drive
shop.
to a card show? So how far do you drive for a card show?
So the farthest I've driven for a card show is probably like 2.5 outside of nationals, like 2.5 hours.
Like regularly, or
No, so
like
like
there's a card show around
there's a
pretty
card
close?
show. There is a card show every weekend within 2 hour, 3 hour drive of me every
Okay,
weekend. But like this weekend, like I'm going to Frederick, Maryland. That's an hour drive, but it's like 200 tables,
dang.
and it's inside of a mall, and it'll be like 9 to like 5. So and
Oh,
then next weekend is the biggest card show in this area, which is the Chantilly Sports Card Show. That's a 3-day event.
and
So
that is
I'll
that like
go.
monthly?
No, it's only 4 times a year, I think.
Really? I feel like I
And
always hear you say Chantilly. Maybe you're just
that's like
talking
the
about it.
biggest. That's the biggest card show in this area. It's like it's right up there with like Philly. So Philly and Chantilly are probably like this tier, right? And then right above it is like Dallas card show, and then like maybe the West Coast show, which is like at Burbank, and then there's the East Coast National, which is in White Plains, New York.
Okay.
And there's a couple of other big ones mixed in there. Shipshawana, which is like what is that? Wisconsin?
No, it's Indiana, or
Is
is
it?
it Indiana or Michigan? Indiana. Indiana.
But like that's become like a really big show because of Card Collector too, obviously.
I
Um,
That one I just saw because I think you mentioned it when you came on the leftovers as a guest. You mentioned Shipshawana because I'm like 2 hours from Shipshawana,
yeah,
and
I mean, I
then
think the next Shipshawana is in May.
oh
That might
we
be a good, if you're up for it, it might be a. I know it's a lot, but I'm just throwing it out there for you.
I went to the one, it was at my county fairgrounds a few weeks ago, and it was a lot for me because I thought I was pretty confident on what I was gonna look for, and it wasn't really what I was expecting, and I felt out of place really quick, like on looking for stuff, and I was scared I was gonna buy stuff I didn't want to buy, so I was like, I spent a little over an hour, and I ended up buying something I didn't. I bought a mega box of Donruss, and I overspent on that. Later on, I saw I could buy it on eBay for cheaper than I bought it at the show, but I got to rip it that day, and I didn't have any luck on it. And I found a few nice cards, but like it quickly was like I don't really know what I don't know 100% what I'm looking for. I've been buying a lot more like lots on eBay
Hmm.
or like Macari, and then I started buying. I'll buy some singles if I find the single that like I'll just sit and look through eBay. I'll find a single that I'm like, oh, I can this should sell for better, and I'll do that, and then I'll do that on Macari also, and
You should
just
look
kind of
at
that.
your Facebook. I don't know how your Facebook Marketplace is. Mine over here feels like eBay, but a lot of people have good luck on Facebook Marketplace with buying card lots.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so that might be something for you to kind of look in if you're looking to buy like lots and stuff like that. I check that out. But like, so Chantilly is next weekend, and that's like a big show for me. So this week, all right, we're gonna do we're gonna make Dan nervous with Tim's schedule next week. Okay.
oh man,
All right, so this Saturday, I am going to the Frederick Card Show. Okay. Then Monday, I have a live on the Card Culture Marketplace on District. Okay.
card
Then,
culture,
what's that?
card culture. I don't know
Card
if I know
Culture,
that.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
They're
I have to
ran
check
by
them
the
out.
No Flow guys. They're really cool. They do a lot of inexpensive breaks too, and they break everything. They do like Kakawao Disney breaks, and they do
Oh,
Harry
okay.
Potter breaks and Star
Oh,
Wars,
really?
football, basketball, hockey, everything. And it's all
I'll have to check them because I follow you on the Midwest breaks.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
another one too. So
Okay.
that Monday I have no, is it that Monday? Listen, I can't even keep up. But I have shows every day this week basically on all
Oh,
the platforms. And then the Whatnot Card Show 6 is starts on Thursday too. So I have that, and then I'm doing 3 of those shows, but they have it the same time as Chantilly. So like Saturday is going to be one of my busiest, longest days
oh.
of the
But it's
year.
cards. It's nice.
Well, listen. So I'm getting up and probably leave my house at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, and it's the first flea market in Arlington, Virginia of
Oh,
the
flea
season.
market.
So I'm going to go to the flea market in Arlington, and then from Arlington I'm going to drive to Chantilly, and I'm going to do the card show until like 5 at night, and then I come home, and then I have a live on Whatnot at 9 p.m.
Oh my
So
god.
that's going to be my day on Saturday. But yeah, and then I have the Threads train, and I have the Whatnot card show, then I have the Dibdick card show, and then I have the Chantilly card, all of that stuff, and then I have another live on Monday. So like my week, the next week is like open to close every day.
Oh my god. So how much you're not gonna be able to do eBay, right? You're gonna.
No, I mean like I'll list some cards, and like I've been going through all of my my inventory and my card inventory right now because I'm trying to like, get rid of not necessarily good inventory, but like stuff that I can't get around to right now. So like I put together a bunch of lots on Dibdit cards, and I'm running them at auction. So I think I have like I'm
Really?
getting I'm getting ready to do a soccer one, but I already added a basketball card lot, so it's 83 cards, and it's at $34.99.
Oh,
And you
obviously,
get all the top loaders too.
yeah, top
So
loaders are expensive. Like,
yeah, so I mean, there's some like there's a lot of dollar cards in there, but there's also like some $3 and $5 cards. It's for somebody who wants to like grind it out. It's a good buy because you're buying it at less than 50 cents a card, right?
I'll have to look at these lots. I've been.
And then I did a hockey one, 28 hockey cards, and it's at $10. And then the football one I think is like 60. What is it? It's 65 cards, and it's at $29.99. So like I did doing stuff like that because it's just it's too much for me to right now. Like I wanna like not to say start over, but like I just I need to move some of this inventory to get new inventory because Chantilly card shows it's like the 127 for me. It's a big buying
She's buying a
experience.
ton.
Yeah, so like I go like the Friday from like 1 to 8. Like that's like the biggest day for me because it's not as many people because it's Friday during the day. Like it starts at 1 o'clock. So like and I know which vendors I'm going to as soon as I get there. So like and like these card shows are a lot different now with repackers. The like repackers go around and they buy everything up before the doors even open. But like a lot of times they're not buying what I'm buying to a certain extent. But I seen like there's a guys that I go to every Chantilly show, and I get there and I'm like, dude, where are your bargain boxes? And he's like, Jeff Wilson just bought all of them, and I'm just like that asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, man? Like you're opening up $10,000 boxes on a private jet, and now you're buying all the bargain boxes, like because you want to make a video, like me and Carrie and Rod. Like, come on, man. Like,
Oh,
he's a douche, by the way, in real life.
I yeah, I don't. When I first, this is a
Pandemic.
few,
I watched him too. I
yeah,
mean,
like during
I
that
will admit
time,
it. Yeah,
I
I
was like,
watched him
oh,
too.
oh, this guy's seen. I was trying to find guys like you and Carrie and Rod, like doing that kind of um cards. Like I've enjoyed cards, trying to figure out how to actually make money at it since my buddy introduced me in like 2013 back into it, and I was messing around. Then I started doing. I was buying in box breaks like crazy. Didn't really understand what that was. Quickly learned like, oh, God, I'm losing a lot of money. This is pretty stupid. And then I went to my next harebrained idea was I used to buy boxes and I would rip them open because like now I get the cards, but still losing a lot of money. And then it turned into baseball. I did baseball prospecting for a while, and doing okay with that. But then I swung and missed a lot, and I learned like I was buying some of the wrong guys. Hit a few guys, but like was probably not the right thing. And then I was like, I don't know anything about this stuff. I got to get out. And then I found this like garage sale reselling. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'll mess with that. And then I went because I didn't know how to make a living doing it. I tried not a living, but like trying to make it like actually worth it to do it. Like I tried doing a box break. I did like a 2 box break in like 2014. I sold my spots on, I sat on, I don't know if you ever been on breakers.tv. Do you remember
Mm.
that? They used to, it was kind of like Whatnot. It was called breakers.tv. I don't know if it's still around. You would go there and it would be a room and you could, I mean, everyone had different types of rooms. It just be a regular person. They would do a box break. They did razzing. Do you know razzing? Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
lot, they rooms just did that, but there was like Raz rooms and there was like break rooms, and then some guys were just in their shop. They had like a legitimate card shop, and you could just box break there. And we're just a regular Joe would just buy boxes. I sat on there trying to do box breaks. No one would buy my box breaks. So then I sold spots on eBay and did a box break on Breakers TV, and you would upload it to YouTube, and you would like send the person a link. It was like I don't think it was you're supposed to be doing it on eBay, but people were doing it. So I'm like, I gotta try it. I want to do it, but that was hard. You just sit there for hours. No one would like come and buy. It's basically like Whatnot. No one would buy anything from me or anything. So, but yeah, I was trying to find people that would like be able to like figure out, show you what they're doing, getting good deals on cards and trying to flip them to actually. And I'm aware. I mean, I'm not doing. I don't want to be like a full time cards seller, but I would if it was part of my repertoire of sales. It would. I have so much fun, even if it turns out to be where I could just get cards I want
Yeah.
and use it for that because I have a hard time spending my money on cards that like probably that I
I
just want to
think
keep forever.
I think the thing with cards, like if you're like a everything seller like me, right? The thing with cards is cards allows you to shop more selectively with everything else, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'd much rather sell a $10 card, which I buy for $1, $2, right?
Mm-hmm.
That takes up no space, that's easy to ship and easy to list than buy like, you know, a bulky thing that's gonna sell for $15 on eBay, and I'm gonna have to pay fees, and it's gonna be a hassle to store, and then I gotta ship it, and like it takes 6 months to sell, right? Well, I'd
Mhm.
rather buy something like that's, spend $15 on, or $10 on, or $5 on, that's gonna sell for like $150.
Oh
That's
yeah.
not a sports card that I can kind of like, I don't need to sell right away, but like it might take like a month or 2 months to sell. While the cards are more of a liquid sort of thing. So like it
Oh,
changes up my entire reselling thing. I think the problem with people who start to resell cards too is you really need to sell cards like how you resell in general. I think
I
there's so much in card selling that people get caught up in a hype, and they want to pay 70% of comps or 80% of comps, and then like you're spending like $400 on one card to sell it for $450. Like, what are we doing? You
I
know what I'm saying?
yes, and so not knowing what I got, I had a listener of the leftovers. This is how I got into cards. He's like, hey, I got these cards. I don't want them. You want them? And I looked, and it was like base absolute rookie cards and chronicles and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I like looking through cards. I'll look through them. I can make them in team lots or something. I like looking at cards, and I'm like looking. I'm like, man, I got this guy, and there's optic in there. I'm like, oh, these are awesome. This is great stuff. And I quickly realized, okay, like just listening to people, like, okay, Chronicles, no one wants Chronicles because they have a ton of Chronicles and they have rookies and everything. So I'm like, all right, no one wants this stuff. And then the Absolute, everyone wants the kabooms from Absolute. So like they don't really want these rookie cards. So like they're gonna be hard to sell. So then I moved on to like, okay, let me get this stuff, and like let me buy like a color, some color parallels. And so I buy all these color parallels, but just because they're color doesn't mean people wanted them. It'd just
Mm-hmm.
be some random guy. But I'd have like a Cameron Jordan. He plays for the Saints, so his colors are black and gold, and it would just be some like prestige orange. Like no one's collecting that, man. Like just, but I'm thinking I'm gonna sell it. So I've been and I didn't spend 400 on one card, but I spent in January because I was looking to try to make money how I could, and I had stuff in the house going on. I wasn't sourcing. I was like, I want to try and do what I can with cards. I spent over $400 on cards, and absolutely, like a lot of them aren't worth. They're like kind of the dollar cards, $2, $3 cards, and I'm like, these aren't worth it. And that's how I ended up starting listing them on eBay. So I'm selling like dollar cards, like are literally like $1.50 cards, $2 cards. And it's not been great, but it's not been like it's eye opening that I'm like, I need to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
But I understand what I like. Yeah, that's it.
It's
Took me a
it's
long time reselling wise to remember, like, don't just buy everything to sell it. And I started doing the exact same stuff I was doing before when I started doing cards. I've
mhm.
been doing the same thing. That's been my problem.
It's a learning process, man. And I think that like that's the thing with reselling in general. Like some people are so stubborn and they're stuck in their ways. Like this is how reselling has to be, right? And you have to sell it this way. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I look at people like Katie Reeds and I'm like, how does she do it? Like how does she make a living selling books? But she is absolutely phenomenal. She's amazing at what she does, right? Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do that, but just because I can't do it doesn't mean that
Oh
somebody
man.
else can't do it like she can, right? Like everybody's going to be different, but like it opens my eyes where like if I see a book like and like if I'm at a yard sale and I can't find like what I immediately am looking for, like glass, like
Books like the last thing I look at,
it's
man.
the last thing I look
Oh,
at, right? But if
oh,
I'm at a yard sale and I don't find anything else, like I'm already there. I might as well look it up, right? You know what I'm
just looks
saying?
so hard. I couldn't imagine. I was 80 Sameta did he was doing books forever and whatnot, and I'm just like I was talking to him and I'm like, I don't know how I couldn't ship that. Like I would die. And that's why I like cards because they're so small. And like
Yeah,
I'm space. I don't have space. Like my
yeah.
space is
And
very
I'm
limited.
like that with you, and like
And my
that's
space
why.
is gonna get smaller. My brother bought my storage outside. That's how I got into clothes too, is space wise.
Mhm.
I was buying everything and doing everything. I was selling all kinds of stuff and no storage anywhere. And I quickly filled up, it was taking over everything, and I couldn't do it. Like I share the house, I share the garage with my brother, and we have not only our stuff, but just like my other brother's stuff's in there. So I have some of my mom's stuff's in there. Like we're doing a big purge of the garage this year. And then my brother bought a new car, and then he's like, I'm parking my car in the garage this year. And I'm like, where's all my stuff gonna go? He's like, we're gonna have to figure it out. And I might be getting a shed, but if not, like my space is gonna be going down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's gonna
But
have
that's
to.
what's good about having like dipped it threads and stuff like that. Like now you have that outlet to kind of like, like I'm trying really hard to kind of like put together like not an algorithm, but an algorithm. Okay, like I want to put together like numerical and sort of like chronological combination of reselling. So like when you go out and buy, do you have like a threshold as far as like almost like a percentage in your head of like what you're willing to spend to make? So like I find it almost impossible for me to pay $10 for something that's going to sell for 20. I won't do it.
I usually okay, so I'm sure I have, but it's not like my intentions aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
But I just went thrifting the other day, and when I'm like comping stuff, I have anxiety when it comes to some of this stuff. If I'm not finding stuff, I start getting. I was talking about
Yeah,
this earlier too.
I
I'm like
100% feel you.
I'm like,
Yeah,
"Ah, I'm buying this. I'm buying this. I'm buying
yeah,
this because
yeah, yeah.
I need stuff. And but like I was sourcing the other day, I didn't need a ton of stuff. I was like looking to get some stuff to come home and list. And I'm looking it up, and I'm like, please, like, be 50% sell through rate. And I was paying. It ended up turning out to be a sale day, and I didn't know it. I have a thing on my phone. It's check Goodwill sales every other day. It alerts me to look, and I didn't look. And so I was like buying like I'm paying full price. I had no idea it was a sale. So I'm like putting stuff back because like I found a Nike shirt that it was like it was like a jacket and a poncho type thing, 2 in 1, like rain jacket. I don't, it had a pouch. It was, but they're asking $20 for it, and brand new. I can't find a comp for it. Found some listed for like 80, and then I found used ones. They're like 40. I'm like, I'm not buying this for 20 to sell it for 40. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't do it. So, but old me would have done it, and so I can't say for sure I wouldn't do it, but I was in my mentality going into that day. I was doing good. I'm gonna do great today, and I was trying to be good. So I put it back, and then I was in line, and then when they cashed me out, everything was 40% off.
So
And
did you go back and get the jacket?
no, I didn't. I didn't because I didn't know. When I pulled in, I'm like, it's busy today. It's a Tuesday. Sometimes on Tuesday, it's senior day, and I didn't check. And I'm like, I don't. I'm like, maybe they think I'm a senior, and they gave me a senior discount. I didn't know, and I didn't ask. And they didn't tell me. So I was like, you know what? I had good stuff. I'm happy with what I got. I only spent $16 because 9 times, like, I don't know. Maybe what I didn't find these because it's hard when you're looking up Nike. I mean, sometimes if you don't find the exact stuff, I know on Nike clothes, you can look in the tag and they have that little tag, just like the shoes, and you can look it up. But it's not like 100% in to get
Yeah.
the exact name of what it is, but just like a random thing. I couldn't find exactly that it's sold. I found listed. I didn't find sold, so I was like, I'm just not gonna spend it because it's gonna mess up my average buy cost for everything. My average buy cost that day ended up being like $3, and I was like very happy because a few weeks ago I went thrifting on regular day. My average buy cost was like almost $8. It might have been over or just at $8, and so I'm like I'm very happy with my sale day that day. And then I went to another store and it was half off day, another local thrift store. Found a pair of boots. So it's not going to be like a great. It's Arizona, which isn't like
Like the
it's not a
jean
great brand.
company?
Yeah, Arizona jeans, and they had like a boot, and it looked like a motorcycle boot. They looked brand new. They're priced them at $25, and it's half off. I'm like, oh, it's only 12. These are brand new boots. Like these boots have to be like they have to be like a $25 boot. But I'm like, I don't want to pay 12 to spend 25. And I did find a comp for it. So I put it back, but it was an auction, I think. Either way, they sold for $15. I'm like, all right, because in my head I'm like, there's no way that like Arizona is just like a pretty generic brand. But I'm like, they're really cool. They look like a motorcycle boot. I wish they had been Harley or something. I would have bought them. They just kind of look like that. But yeah. So to answer your question, so I have the intentions to, but it just depends on what's happening to me at that. I'm an impulse or emotional buyer, I guess. I'm an emotional eater. I'm an emotional buyer. I don't emotionally drink. I don't. Well, I drink
That's what
pop.
I did. Look where that ended up.
I did have a drink. I don't drink very often. I did have a drink the other day, but very, very few. Yeah. We've had in my family's had like some substance problems
Yeah.
before. So I've learned like it just doesn't appease me. So like I don't but I have other problems too. But yeah.
We all have
Yeah.
problems, Dan. That's why the seat's open, right?
Yes. Yes. There you go. You got it right too. Yes.
So I think, but like a lot of what you said is kind of like how I've been trying to like apply everything, because sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, this item is $10 and maybe it sells for $60, but like there's 75 listed and 2 sold. Like then I start to really like dive in. Like, do I like? I'm trying to find this like perfect storm of buying and selling. Like, because it's so much about reselling is more about buying than anything else. Like, bottom line, I don't care what anybody says. It is about the buy. Everything is about the buy. How you buy.
I hear that all the time, and
determines
then I'm always
everything.
like, I always try to like fight back on like, wait, what is it? Because a lot of times when I talk to people, it's always about how much I'm spending, like my spending. My buddy Mike, the January house, he was on me about because I've been talking to him about my cards, and I'm like, I know, like, but I'm sitting here looking at these cards. I don't know what's valuable because I'll look at a card like, oh, I don't know if I had that like Chris Bryant card I sent you, and I was asking you about that refractor, and it's great. Like I can't find like a comp, and I was like, I like need some help on this card because I'm like, I passed through that card about 50 times in a box. And then I was looking for cards. It was getting to baseball season. Like, there's something about this card that just makes me think it's worth something. So I've been doing that a lot with cards. And then when I was looking up some cards, I'm like, all right, well, I've already done the work on this. I'm gonna list this now. I'm gonna get $1 for it. I'm gonna list it for $1 and make whatever 30, 40, 50 cents on them. So I have been, and that's what I've been doing, the standard envelope, which I know you're not a fan of. I actually like it. I don't mind it.
See, that just goes to show you that, like, something, just because I do something or don't do something, like, I would never tell somebody else not to do it. You know, like, you like it, it works for you.
I'm always scared about, like, on grounded or shipping, like in bubble mailers. I was always scared about bending up the cards. So when I got back in cards, I don't. My first purchase on District, because you got me into District. You kept on the Reseller Information Network, One Stop Shop. You kept on talking to me about joining, and I finally joined. And I used my first code. I bought a card. I don't remember if you bought it. I bought a Nico Collins card from you last year. When you shipped it to me, I remember how you shipped it. So I shipped all my cards the way that you ship cards. That's how I ship my cards. And then just listening to you on the No Bangers talking to those guys, I completely overpack all my shipping. Like I have learned that. But yeah, I don't mind like standard envelopes. I have my envelopes just like Rod introduced me to Gaby card stacks. When I remember a video you did last year with like Justin Herbert. You had like an Oregon card of his, and you didn't know why he wasn't making any money because he's in the college uniform. And then when I was listening, I'm like, I do not understand why everyone's going crazy about Bowman, because I'm not even looking at anything Bowman because they're all in their college uniforms. Like I don't understand this. Like
It's
what's the big
completely
deal?
changed. It's completely changed that whole like outlook. Like they don't care because they're still in college, right? But like as soon as they get to the NFL, like it's different than baseball Bowman, because when in baseball Bowman they're still in the pro uniforms. It's so weird. And a lot of that is just people have brainwashed the people to thinking a certain way.
My buddy who got me into cards, I text him. He was texting me something, and I told him I was telling him I've been buying Arch Manning, and he's like, why are you buying him? Don't buy him. no one does college. Is what he told me, and I'm like, you're wrong, man. You're not. You're wrong. You're not. You're wrong, because he's a hitter. Like he goes
I
just for
sell
hit.
his base Prism rated prospect card for $10 the other day. Found it in a dollar box.
You found that in a dollar box?
Yep.
Dang, I've bought a few, and then I've priced them to I've listed them to price them for like projecting them.
Yeah, smart
Projecting
move
them out.
because his stuff is good. Like there's a highlight just came out of him at practice, and I saw somebody retweet it, and they were like, "If Texas would have started Archie Manning last year, they would have won the national championship." And it just
I
shows
just
this highlight of him in practice the other day, throwing like a $60, 60-yard absolute dime, and I'm just like, "Oh, his stock's about to go up." You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I mean,
I wish I would have. I'm not gonna find. I bought a few. I bought two on ComC, and I flipped one the same day for $10, and then I priced the other one at 15 right now on there. But like I buy them and I've listed them for like 20, I think. Then I have a couple of red ices that I don't have listed, and then the other one and then I have saved one. I think I'm gonna run one on my Dib card show on Wednesday.
for the raid train.
Yeah, and I ran one before on there. Hopefully. I've been trying. I didn't do very good with. I had some Bowman cards yesterday, and they didn't do. No one really wanted them.
See, that's the thing. It's with card auctions. I mean, I feel like it's like that with any auction live selling, right? Like it just depends on who's in the
there.
room. So
Yeah.
like sometimes, like, dude, I will tell you this. This happens to me all the time. I will run a card, and it'll get 0 bids, right?
Mm.
I will run that same card 2-3 weeks later, and it'll sell for $10. I'm like, there's no, and then people want to ask me like, well, I don't have an answer for you as to why that happens, right? But I mean, it happens with everything.
If you're new at selling, I'm like, maybe I don't have. I'll start getting nervous and flustered. I'm like, maybe this isn't a good card. So then, like, I did that with a couple cards last week. I had a Giancarlo Stanton to 75 I think Pinnacle, something like that. It was a numbered card, just of a veteran, but I thought it was really cool. It was a really cool looking card. Ran it through my show, not one bite. I'm like, all right, I guess maybe I shouldn't be buying veterans numbered, but anyway, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna list it on eBay. Listed on eBay
And
for
it sold.
$12 and sold the next day. I sent out an offer, but I sold it for $10.79 the next day. I'm like, okay, all right, it was a good card. I just, I only had, I think it was our, well, yeah, I think because I have been doing to make sure to do progressive shipping. I'll do the show on Wednesday with Keith, and then I try to do one other one by my own. So either way, I'm like, I probably had 15, 20
Well,
people.
even within the same show, progressive shipping is good because
Yeah.
like once somebody buys one card, right? Like it's so important when you're doing live selling on Dib cards to remind people that you have progressive shipping, right? Because it's like sometimes
Keith, you have
people
to remember
don't
to do that.
they don't know, right? But like if somebody buys a card and then it's like you're like, okay, now you've remind them like after they won, you just unlocked free shipping for the rest of the show.
That's how I got all those cards from you last week.
So now it's like they're just buying all. They can just keep buying because they're like, oh, well, now this card, that first card cost me $6.99, right? But this next card that's up for auction now, it's only going to cost me $1.99. Like,
Yeah.
it's and you don't. I can ship 10 cards, 15 cards sometimes for $5.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not losing anything, but the buyer is gaining incentive to buy.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna work on. I do. Yeah. I love that part of it. So
I mean, there's a lot of it, man. It's just you gotta have thick skin too. And I know you and I like while we don't have thick skin all the time. Like right, like you and I can get a little. If somebody says something that rubs us the wrong way, we're not gonna like just be like okay, whatever, But at the same time, like I have it's something that I've learned over time, right? And this other thing too is that like me, I'm not one of these guys to ever put myself on a pedestal, right? Like I'm constantly learning. Like I do not anybody who tells you that they know everything know nothing.
yes,
Don't ever forget that, right? Like I there's so much that I don't know that I learn, and it's a lot of it is that's the thing about what we do as resellers, man. A lot of it is learning on the job, bro. Like there's you can watch a million videos, but man, when you get when it comes down to it, you can't just be like, you can't just grab that person through the screen and bring them into your room and help
You just
you.
gotta
You
do
know
it.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like a lot of it is just learning on the job, man, and like you get better over time, whether it's live selling, whether it's listing on eBay, sourcing at a flea market, a yard sale, sourcing online, you know, like it's just it's that's kind of think that's why I like it so much because like every day is a new challenge, right? Like, you know, like
Yes.
when we're up against, you know, me and you, we're solo dolo enterprises here, right? Like
Yep.
it's just me, it's just you, right? And
Yep.
so like but the bills got to get paid. So it's like, you know, like it pushes you to become a better person every single day when you wake up. And there's going to be days,
Yes. Most
especially with
definitely.
me, because like, you know, with the bipolar and all that stuff, like there's days I wake up where I don't want to be better. I don't want to be better. But like I have to find a way around it and do it. And I think that the challenge makes things fun, you know?
Yes, that's a great spot, man. I really appreciate you coming on, Tim.
Dude, listen,
I had
for
so
those of
much
you that
fun.
don't know, when I finally got to meet Dan in person at the Win 27 last year, it made me so happy. I still have the picture on my phone. Like, I just because Dan and I have always had a good relationship, but like to finally like be able to get to hang out in person and sit around and shoot the
It is
shoot.
awesome.
And you know, like it's just you can't stuff like that is priceless, man. So like anytime Dan ever needs me for anything, I'm always, you know, available. And I hope you
Yes.
guys realize that Dan is in demand for a reason, ladies and
No,
gentlemen. He's a good guy. He's a great guy, and I
I'm blushing
wish
now.
you the best, man.
Man, thanks so much for coming on.
Of course,
And you're gonna come on again at some
of
point.
course, yeah.
All right, I appreciate it. We have to get all the no bangers on at some point.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It would be fun.
It'd be
So,
like a
all
little
right.
reunion, a little
Yes.
127 reunion.
Yes. All right. Thanks. No, wait, I was gonna say no seat open. I have seat open.